story of past Marquez Benitez entitled Dead Star. The tranquil murmur of conversation issued from the brick-tailed azotea wherein Don Julian and Carmen were plotting away among the rose pots.
Papa, I read when the long table be said.
I don't know yet. Fred is the first visitor. But I understand Esperanza wants it to the next month.
Carmen sighed impatiently.
Why isn't that bit more decided, I wonder? He is so bitter. Is it not? And still a bachelor. Esperanza must be targeting.
He does not seem to be much for your people. Not only I need some commitment, but his role sees us busy his sleep away.
How can a woman marry Harry when the man does not marry her?
Carmen returned, pinching off her fur very carefully. Someone asked him,
Papa, do you remember how much in love he was?
In love with whom?
With Esperanza, of course. He has not had another love affair that I know of.
she said with good-natured contempt.
What I mean is that at the beginning, he was enthusiastic.
Flowers, serenades, notes, and things like that.
Sitting quietly in his room, he could almost survive the restlessness of those days. The feeling, tumultuous, such as he knew so well in his body. And something beautiful was flowing on summer, and he was trying to get the relax. Hurry, hurry, or you will miss it. Someone had seemed urged in his ears.
What do you think happened?
Asked Carmen, pursuing her thought.
I suppose floating beach with people are like that. Warm now, good tomorrow. You think they are more often improved than warm? The very fact that an engagement has been allowed for a long time argued a certain facility of impairment or of affection on the part of either or both. Don't look at them as blessings. The face you were speaking of is naturally love for a beginning. Besides that, as I was afraid of his last race, escaping proof.
Carmen laughed aloud at the thought of her brother's perfect physical pose. Almost in the legs, his turnaround suggested by her father's figurative language.
The last word of half love finished the moment.
One evening, he had gone neighbor with Don Julian. A rare enough occurrence since he made it a point to avoid all appearance of carrying favor with the judge. This particular evening, however, he had allowed himself to be pursued.
A little mental relaxation now and then is beneficial. The all Benitez. Besides, a judge is too good, the rest of the fun. It's worth for rising young lawyers to follow. Don Julian conveyed through a shrug and smile that derided his own worldly wisdom.
A young woman had met them at the door. He was puzzled that she should smile with evident delight every time he addressed her thus. Later, Don Julian informed him that she was not the judge's sister, as he supposed, but his sister-in-law, and that her name was Julia Salas. A very dignified, austere name, he thought. Still, the young lady should have corrected him. As it was greatly embarrassed and felt that he should explain. To his apology,
boy who led you, but I remember a similar experience I had once.
Oh, you what was your dream?
A man named Manala, I kept calling him Manala. After the 10th time or so, the young man rose from his seat and said sadly, "Pardon me, my name is Manala. Manala, I never forgave him."
He loved with her.
The best thing to do under the circumstances, I have found, she pursued, is to pretend not to hear and let other person find out his thing without harm. I'm thinking of Mr. Manala.
Sunday mornings after Mass, father and son would go catching up the gravel road to the house in the hill. The judge's wife invariably offered a beer which Don Julian enjoyed and Alfredo did not. After a half hour or so, the chessboard would be brought out. Then Alfredo and Julius Salas would go out to the Then Alfredo and Julius Salas would go out to the porch to chat. He sat in the low hammock chair, and he in the rocking chair. And the hours, warm, quiet March hours, sped by. He enjoyed talking with her, and it was evident that she liked his company. Yet, what feeling there was between them was so undisturbed that it seemed a matter of course. Only when Esperanza had first to ask him indirectly about those visits did some uneasiness creep into his thoughts of the girl next door. Esperanza had wanted to know if he went straight home after Mass. Alfredo suddenly realized that for several Sundays now he had not waited for Esperanza to come out of the church as he had been wont to do. He had been eager to go neighboring.
Sometimes, I know it about the church to brothers.
That half-life told him that he had not admitted openly to himself that he was giving Julius Salas something which he had not been given. He realized that something that could not be denied told him curiously and he followed on.
Just before Holy Week, Don Julian invited the judge and his family to spend Sunday afternoon at Tanda where he had a coconut plantation and a house on the beach.
I hope you are enjoying this, he said, with no question at all.
Very much. It looks like our doom, except that we do not have such a loud beach.
There was a breeze from the water.
The afternoon has seemed very short, hasn't it?
This, I think, is the last time we can visit.
Why? Oh, you were too busy perhaps. Do I seem especially
you on, you never look in. Not perspiring or breathless as a busy man ought to be.
I wish that were true. But
Always inherit to inherit and come, she said to herself.
I should like to see your hometown.
There's nothing to see. Little crooked streets, bonnet roofs with ferns growing on them, and sometimes squashes.
Nothing. There's you.
Oh, me? But I'm here.
Well, I will not go, of course, until you are there.
Will you come? You will find love. There isn't even one American there.
Well, Americans are essential to my entertainment.
We live in Hollywood, a little streets with trees.
Could I find that?
If you don't ask for Miss Del Valle, she's spent teasing me.
I inquire about
What?
the house of the prettiest girl in the town.
Dun, 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 dun. There is where you will lose your way. She turned serious.
It is.
Now, that's not quite sincere.
It is. However, slowly but emphatically.
I thought you at least would not say such things.
Pretty, pretty, pretty. A Polish word. But there is none other more handy I did not think to find.
Are you enjoying the compliment?
Reinforcing it, maybe. Something is pretty when it places in the eye.
If it saddens,
Exactly.
it must be ugly.
Always. Wait, did you say this is the last time?
I'm going home.
The end of an impossible dream.
Well, after a long silence.
Tomorrow, I received a letter from father and mother yesterday. They want me to spend holiday at home. She seemed to be waiting for him to speak.
Can I come to say goodbye?
No. You don't need to.
No, but I want to.
There's no time.
Alfredo gripped his soft hand so near his own. At his touch, the girl turned her face away, and he heard her voice say very low.
Goodbye.
Years of engagement, a very near wedding, perfect understanding between the parents, his own conscience, and Esperanza herself. Esperanza waiting, Esperanza no longer young. Esperanza the efficient, the literal-minded, the intense representative.
She is not married to her. Esperanza insisted in her thin, nervously pitched voice. Besides, she should have thought of us. Nanay practically brought her up. We never thought she would turn out bad.
You are very positive about her badness.
But do you approve?
Of what?
What she did?
No.
Well,
He was suddenly filled with a desire to disturb the unmixed orthodoxy of her mind.
All I say is not necessarily wicked.
why should it be? She injured us. She was ungrateful. Her voice was tight with a sense.
The trouble with you, Esperanza, is that you are.
Why did you get angry? I do not understand you at all. Maybe I know why you have been indifferent to me lately. I am not blind or deaf. I see and hear what perhaps our life will be from.
After many years, he was not unhappy in his marriage. He felt no rebellion, only the calm of capitulation to what he recognized as responsible forces of circumstance and of character. At such times did Esperanza feel baffled and helpless. He was gentle, even tender, but immeasurably far away beyond her reach.
Good evening.
Oh, good evening. Are you in town?
On some little business.
Won't you come on?
He considered his big plans had not included this, but Julia Salas had left the window. Calling to her mother,
he did so. After a while, someone came down with a lighted candle to open the door. At last, he was shaking her hand. She had not changed much, a little less slender, not so eagerly alive, yet something had gone. He missed it. Sitting opposite her, looking thoughtfully into her fine, dark eyes. She asked him about the hometown, about this and that, in a sober, somewhat meditative tone. He conversed with increasing ease, though with a growing wonder that he should be there at all. He could not take his eyes from her face. What has she lost? Or what's the loss his? He felt an impersonal take his eyes from her face. Curiosity creeping into gaze, the girl must have noticed, for her cheek darkened in a blush. So that was all over? An immense sadness as loss invaded his spirit. A vast homesickness for some immutable refuge of the heart. Far away, where faded gardens blooms again, and where live on unchanging freshness the dear, dead loves of vanished youth.